Good morning, Algebra 1 students. Okay, so today's Monday. It's May the 4th, and we're on lesson 23. Now, I tried to video last Friday saying there wasn't a lesson for Friday because I'm having so much trouble uploading. So, there was no lesson last Friday. Okay, so this is your last week of AMI. I know you're happy about that. Today we're graphing an inequality. So it's going to be a line. Now, let me refresh in your memory what an inequality is. An inequality is a greater than or less than problem. So here we go. We're doing inequalities today, and there was this one rule that I needed to remind you of. So here it goes. If you ever divide or multiply by a negative number while you're working out the problem, then you have to reverse the inequality sign. Well, what does that mean? If it's a greater than sign, you would have to change it to less than. If it's less than, you'd have to change it to greater than. So let me show you. Okay, we already know this rule, but I needed to remind you of it because you're going to need to know it in today's lesson. So let's say you have a greater than sign. You're working out your problem, so you had to divide by -2. And there's this crazy rule. If you divide by a negative number, then you have to change the inequality sign. Well, I did. I divided by a negative, so this is going to stay x, but this greater than sign is going to change to less than. 4 divided by -2 is -2. Okay, so I want to remind you of that. Also today, when you're graphing inequalities, if you have an equal to bar underneath it, it's going to be a solid line, a regular line. But if you don't have the bar underneath it, the equal to bar, then it's going to be a dotted line, a dashed line. You're also going to need to know that for today. Okay, one example. Here we go. What are we doing today? We're graphing lines. You go, haven't we been doing graphing lines? We have. But today, because it's an inequality, you're going to have to do some shade. So it's one thing different. Do you already know how to graph lines? Yes, you do. You can go to your graphing calculator and put it in y equal, or you can solve it out by hand. So here's my problem. 2x minus y equal, oh, it's not equal, that's what we've been doing, just kidding, is less than 3. You still have to do y equal mx plus b form. So you're going to keep your negative y less than, your positive 2x becomes a negative 2x, and then bring down your plus 3, okay? And then, you know, to get rid of this negative, that's really a -1 right there. We're going to have to use our rule that we're dividing by a negative. And if you ever divide by a negative, don't forget to change that inequality sign. Now, if I was dividing by a positive, then that sign would not change. Okay, so this is going to be y, but this less than sign becomes a greater than sign. A negative over a negative is a positive. Bring down your x. The signs are different, so that's going to be a -3. So that is what I'm graphing. Okay, so I'm going to have to erase some of this. I'm going to write this down. Now I'm going to need that too. Y is greater than 2x minus 3. Okay? Now I'm ready to graph this. So, the straightest line I can draw, again. Now, you can put this in the graphing calculator under y equal, and it would graph it for you. You can make your t-table with your points. I'm just going to do it out by hand. Okay, so this is your y-intercept. So you're going to go down 3. And then this is your slope number, and I'm going to put it over 1 because slope needs to be a fraction if you're graphing. Sorry. Okay, so I'm going to go up 2, and I'm going to go right 1. And that's just 2 points, but that's going to be enough for me to draw my line. Now, let me point this out. Do you have that equal to bar underneath it? No, you don't. So you have to remember, hey, that's just a dashed line. It's not a solid line. So when you draw your line, it looks something like that. And you need to draw a long line. It needs to cover up your graph. Now, so all of that stuff we pretty much already knew. This is the new part. The new part is we have to shade. And you either shade above the line or below the line. And in order to know which one to shade, you have to do a test point. In other words, you're picking a point and you're testing to see, does it work or does it not work? Okay, so I'm going to try to slow down for this part. All right, so I'm going to pick the test point is going to be 0, 0. Why? Because it's easy. Plug in 0 for x, plug in 0 for y. So I am going to pick my test point of 0, 0. Okay? I always pick 0, 0. Well, 99% of the time. So I'm going to, in place of x, put 0. In place of y, put 0. So this is going to be 2 times 0 minus, put in 0 for y, is less than 3. Notice I plugged it into the original problem. Okay, so what have I done? Because I won't freak you out. Okay, I picked 0, 0 as my test point, and I plugged it into my original problem. And I'm going to say, does it work or does it not? Okay, so 2 times 0 is 0, minus 0 is less than 3. 0 is less than 3. Is that true? 0 is less than 3. Yes, that is a true statement. Now listen, this is where it gets crazy. Now, if this is a yes, okay, I'm going to slow down. If this is a yes, then you're going to find your test point, which is right there, and you shade the side that has the test point. Okay. Now listen. If that would have been a no, then you don't shade the test point. You don't shade the side that has the test point. You would have to shade the other side. Okay? So if you get a yes, that means your point worked, and you shade that side. If you get a no, that means the test point did not work, and you shade the other side. Okay, now listen. If you don't get this, text me and I'll do it again tomorrow. All right, so we got a yes. So a yes means the test point worked. So that means you're going to shade that side right there. Okay, and notice I went all the way down to my line. Okay, that's it for today. And if you need another example, I'll be glad to do this again tomorrow. I give you 3 little problems, and here you go. I hope this uploads. Okay. Oh, I didn't put today's date on there, but this is lesson 23. Today's May 4th. There's the first one. 4x plus 2y is less than 8. Number 2, negative 3x minus y is less than 5. And number 3, 2x plus y is greater than negative 3. And notice none of those have your equal to bar underneath it. So they're all going to be that dashed dotted line. Okay, guys, you're doing great. This is the last week of AMI. Okay, well, listen, fixing to go plant my garden, and because it's supposed to rain tomorrow. See you later. Bye.